Hello, everyone. I'm Pete Healy, president of Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. I have the great honor to be the first. That doesn't deserve a clap. The clapping part's about to happen. I have the great honor to be the first to officially welcome all of you to the Klarman Building at BIDMC. Now that's worth clapping for. Thank you, Beth and Seth, for your tremendous support as the naming donors of this building. Since I first joined BIDMC, I have been struck by the commitment of our community, the amazing board members, donors, leaders, and colleagues that I encounter on a daily basis. When it comes to this building, our community has leaned in from the very beginning to listen, offer guidance, and continually ask me, what can I do to help? This network of passionate, engaged individuals puts me in the enviable position of having many, many people to thank for getting to this moment today. So first, thanks to all the donors to this building. Many of you were on board at the earliest stages of planning and approvals and had confidence in this medical center when an 11-story inpatient tower was merely a hope and a dream. Some of the individuals in this room increased their support, and some have been so inspired by this project that they have made the most significant philanthropic commitment of their lifetimes. Regardless of whether you are new to the BIDMC community or part of a multi-generational legacy of involvement, you are making this dream a reality, and I am truly grateful for all of you. Now, I would be up here all afternoon if I thanked everyone by name. So please, take a few moments later to review our donor wall downstairs or take a look through today's program book. I do want to take a moment, however, to acknowledge the donors whose gifts of $5 million and above will be recognized on a granite feature wall at the entrance of this building, hearkening back to the limestone wall that is a central feature on our East Campus and is engraved with the names of an amazing legacy of committed supporters. Those donors to this building are Carol and Howard Anderson, Marilyn Andre Dinesh, Midge and Tom Desimone, Ron Drucker and family, Steve Kay and family, Seth and Beth Klarman, Ted Ladd, Sarah Salter-Levy and Stephen Levy, the Lindy family, and the Carl and Ruth Shapiro Family Foundation. Thank you all for your extraordinary support. I think you all know that behind every successful development campaign is an outstanding philanthropy team. I want to thank Chris Lapping, Kevin McAteer, and their entire staff for everything they do to make the life-saving work of this medical center possible. We would not be here without their efforts. I also want to thank our campaign co-chairs, Doug Lindy, Tom Desimone, Danielle Remus-Hackle, and Carol Anderson. You have been excellent partners in all of our efforts, and we are so appreciative of all that you do. We had excellent partners with Turner Construction and Payette, as well as all of our subcontractors. Our facilities department is the best in-house hospital facilities team I have ever seen in my hospital career. They have had two remarkable leaders who are no longer with BIDMC, but are here with us today and without whom we could not have built this building. I want to specially recognize Walter Armstrong and David Flanagan for everything they did on this very long journey to get this project done. There they are. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much. We miss you, by the way. I also want to thank the other members of our facilities team that have literally been dedicated full-time to this project for years. Emily Rizak, Michelle McGrury, Sarah Holton, Sarah Steinberg, and Bruce Spittler. Thank you so much. Your hands are going to be sore after this event. And of course, the finish line for construction is only the starting line for the chapter to come. Our clinical teams have shifted from giving input on design to working nonstop on training and finalizing plans to open this building to patients in early April. And we are so excited for what is to come. Kevin Tabb, I want to thank you for your leadership and your vision. We are proud to be opening a facility that is so critical to the BILH strategy of providing the right care at the right time and in the right place for all those who need it. Clap for Kevin. While I have the honor of standing up here and announcing this building, it really is about all of you here today who have made this building possible. The Klarman Building, the first new freestanding facility we have built in more than 2 decades. It is transformative for our institution and for healthcare in Boston. I am looking very forward to the bright future for BIDMC, and once again, I am grateful to each and every one of you for the role you have played. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now Doug Lindy is going to say a few words on behalf of the campaign co-chairs.
We started planning in earnest for this facility in 2014, 9 years ago. Pete, I think you were still at BIDMC Milton at that time. Fast forward, it's late 2019. The BILH system is in the process of being formed. Pete is now leading BIDMC. Construction for the tower begins, and a few months later, we have this pandemic. We all understand what the pandemic has done to the healthcare system, but leading an academic medical center of this caliber is no easy task in normal times. And doing so effectively during a pandemic with the extraordinary challenges due to an ongoing and continuing workforce crisis just adds significant degrees of difficulty. Pete, the fact that despite it all, you have led a team that has delivered this extraordinary facility on schedule speaks to your outstanding leadership, capabilities, and determination. And we are grateful for everything you and your colleagues at BIDMC have done. So thank you. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize Walter and Dave as well. They led a meticulous pre-construction process. They lived the construction of this building 6 days a week, and they had the opportunity to have Tom DeSimone and I challenge them on cost every month for 3 years. All I can say is, wow, guys, wow. The Lindy family has been part of the BIDCM community for almost 60 years. I was born at the BI hospital in July of 1963, guess my age. And 2 of my children were also born here. My dad began to spend time at this institution in the 1970s, and he was the chairman of the BIDMC from 89 to 91. I joined the leadership board in the late 1990s and had the honor of serving on the Board of Trustees starting in 2007, and was here when the decision to move forward was made in 2016, and I see a lot of my fellow board members from that era sitting here today. I remember that decision like it was yesterday. Being a hub of healthcare excellence is what makes the city of Boston one of its special characteristics. This medical center is a big, big part of that. We had just gone through what was probably the most challenging period in the BIDMC's history, and Kevin and Pete had put the medical center on a path towards financial strength. We desperately needed a facility that truly reflected the caliber of our care, our research excellence, and our role as a destination for education and development of the future generation of outstanding medical professionals. We needed a facility that would inspire the BIDMC community, all the physicians, the nurses, the technicians, and the non-clinical frontline staff. We needed a facility that would put our patients and their families in the best possible environment to receive acute care. This facility had to be built. On behalf of Tom and Danielle and Carol, I would also like to join Pete in thanking all of the donors who have come together to support this project and invest in the future of the BIDMC. This is truly where extraordinary lives. Thank you for all you have done to make this place so special. And now, it's my pleasure to welcome Marcia Maurer, certainly someone who has played a key role in shaping this building and ensuring that it will meet the needs of patients, providers, and the community members for decades to come. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Marcia Maurer, Chief Nursing Officer and Senior Vice President for Patient Care Services. I'm delighted to be here on this special day, and I thank all of you for being here as well. I'd like to tell you a little about the clinical design process that's resulted in the spectacular facility you see here today. From the very start, we were committed to including the voices of the full range of stakeholders who would come to occupy this space. We listened to and acted on the ideas and perspectives of patients and their loved ones, as well as our doctors, nurses, respiratory therapists, technicians, environmental service workers, and more. An early decision that helped us stay true to this goal was to appoint an experienced nurse, Dr. Michelle McGrory, as Senior Clinical Operations Liaison. To Michelle, the needs and struggles of frontline staff and patients were not an abstract idea, they were her lived experience. She set to work, becoming certified in evidence-based design and leading the efforts to ensure the space would meet our goals. We set up mock rooms and ORs, procedure spaces, and recovery bays in the basement of the East Campus Shapiro Building. We then invited patients, families, and staff to come into those spaces, to see them, to touch them, to react to them, and to tell us, where should the family space be? Where should the outlets be? Where should the bathroom be? Each mock room accumulated dozens and dozens of sticky notes outlining the ideas of the people who would occupy the space. These stickies made their way back to the architects and planners who incorporated the feedback into the design process. This is just one of many examples of the inclusive and collaborative process that we used to create this magnificent space. As a result, this building has many features that we can all be proud of. It has spacious private rooms that will be comfortable and functional for patients and families and for staff. Staff will have room to work with the things they need at their fingertips and plentiful touchdown spaces and workstations to enhance workflow. The floors themselves have been ergonomically designed using rubber to provide better support for staff who stand much of the day, reducing staff fatigue and enhancing health. Design-enhanced natural light in the patient rooms will be welcomed by both patients and staff, and everyone, staff, patients, and families alike, will have access to our healing garden. That contact with nature and the outdoors is so important to well-being. And thanks to our team's attention to environmental impacts, I'm proud to report that this building has received Gold LEED rating from the United States Green Building Council, signifying leadership in energy and environmental design. In short, this building showcases our values, putting patients, families, and staff at the center of the process, being fully inclusive of the needs of the people who will inhabit these spaces. As you can imagine, making this vision a reality from the earliest planning phases back in 2017 to our patient move and beyond has been an enormous effort. While many hundreds of people have contributed, I must especially note the clinical leadership provided by Michelle McGrory, whom I've already mentioned, and Dr. Cindy Phelan, Associate Chief Nurse and Executive Director for the Cardiovascular Institute. They have provided outstanding leadership, achieving the full inclusion of important voices, making tough decisions, and pivoting in countless ways to do what was needed to get us to this point. Thank you, Michelle and Cindy. And once again, thank you to everyone here today. As I said earlier, so many voices were heard along the journey of this project, and now we'd like to share a few more of those voices with you. Pay attention to the screen.
That was an incredible video, and I think it really shows the powerful impact that we're going to have together, all of us in this space. Impact on our patients, their families, the communities that we serve. So good afternoon, everybody. My name's Kevin Tabb. I'm the president and CEO of Beth Israel Lahey Health. Let me start by saying thank you. Thank you to every single one of you for all that you have done to bring us to this point. Thank you for being here with us today to celebrate the new space. This is a really, really special day. When I was thinking back about today's event, I thought back to an event that we had not that long ago, it feels like, when a lot of us were together, I think about 4 years ago, and it may have been right here in this spot, but a few floors down, when we were celebrating the groundbreaking of the building. So we're looking around now, and what's clear to me is we have come a long way. And it really means a huge amount to me to be here with all of you now in this spectacular space. I want to acknowledge some special guests who are here today or who will be here shortly. Let me start with Deb Goldberg, the treasurer of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Deb, thank you. You and your family have been longstanding, generous supporters of BIDMC, and before BIDMC, the Beth Israel Hospital, and we're really grateful for your ongoing support and your service to the Commonwealth. Thank you, Deb. I think that the mayor of Boston, Michelle Wu, will be here shortly, and we want to thank her for her vision and service and support in making this building possible. You know, sometimes I think that Boston feels like a small town, and I say that in the best possible way, but it's not just a small town. It's also a global healthcare powerhouse, and we are part of that. The mayor represents what all of us strive for here every day, providing the kind of hands-on, caring connection to the individuals that we serve, and really helping us to maximize the global impact that we have through discovery and innovation. I also want to acknowledge State Representative China Tyler, whose district includes BIDMC. Thank you, Representative Tyler, for being a true advocate for our communities and for all of us in healthcare in fulfilling our mission to serve those communities. Ambassador Meron Rubin, Baruch haba, Consul General of Israel to New England. He's also here with us today. As you know, Ambassador, Beth Israel Hospital was founded more than 100 years ago to meet the healthcare needs of the Boston Jewish community. We're really honored to continue to build on that legacy and the legacy of New England Deaconess. And I think that we find profound meaning in our ongoing commitment to serving the underserved. Thank you for being here with us today. This building came to life really from the foundation up. Steel beam by steel beam, brick by brick. The foundation of this building is the foundation of our future as a medical center. And over the course of more than a century, our organization has evolved. We've evolved to meet the needs of our patients and their families and our community. We've evolved to train generation after generation of caregivers. We've evolved to push the boundaries of science. This state-of-the-art new inpatient building is going to take us into the next 125 years. It's right here that we're going to chart our future as an organization. It's right here that our caregivers are going to transform lives. It's right here that we will pioneer, will discover, will innovate, not just for our own patients, but really for people around the world. Right here, we're going to harness the unlimited power of our extraordinary workforce who made it all possible. So as we celebrate this moment and this space together, we also celebrate those who made it all possible through their support and really through their love for the medical center. And every single person in this room, and a lot of people who aren't here, have played a role in our being here today. But I want to just acknowledge a few in particular. I want to recognize the Dinesh family, who formed an incredibly strong connection to this institution as a result of BIDMC's long history of social justice and serving the community. And their significant support for the building has really been key to moving the whole project forward. So I think that it's pretty fitting that the main lobby is named in recognition of their generosity. And that's because that's a space that will welcome all members of our community who need our care. The Lindy family, in whose honor this stunning conference center, and I've already told Pete I'm booking it for a whole bunch of different things already, in whose honor this stunning conference center is named. The Lindy family's also been really key, instrumental in the success of this project. So in addition to the family's exceptional generosity, Doug Lindy has been right by our side, asking the right questions, making sure that we're on track throughout the entire long journey of the project, from its conception that he talked about, strategy, all the way through approval and construction. So this space is going to be a space of learning, of innovation, really pushing us to constantly think about delivering better care. And that's an expectation and a commitment that aligns with everything that the Lindy family has done for the city of Boston. So thank you. And finally, the Klarman family. When I first asked Seth and Beth if they might be interested in making a naming gift to the building, they didn't just say yes. They said yes in a matter of days. Beth and Seth, you're the kind of people who are there when it matters most. You understand the need for this building as a key part of our future, and you showed up as true partners who are really deeply committed to our success. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity and kindness. Thank you. So welcome to the Klarman Building. It means a huge amount to us to have this facility bear your name and to celebrate our bright future, the bright future of healthcare at BIDMC, right here along with you. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Beth and Seth. Thank you again.
This is such an exciting day for so many who have worked and waited so long to see this building completed. Throughout the pandemic, the work continued. Watching it go up symbolized hope and a future beyond the very worst period of the pandemic. For me and Seth, this building is also a symbol of gratitude. Our philanthropic support is a tangible demonstration of our gratitude for how this hospital and all associated with it has been there to care for 4 generations of my family, the Schultz family, and for us. That history and our own experiences has created a deep and lasting connection to and appreciation of this hospital. I gave birth to 2 of our children here, 2 of our 3 children, both of whom spent time in the NICU. In October of 1992, the NICU was licensed to care for level 3 babies, the ones who were considered critical. And that was just in time for our son Jeremiah, who was born in November 1992. Dr. Will Cochran of blessed memory named him the Amazing Jay. He was there in the NICU for 11 weeks, as were we. We know how well our son and our family were cared for by the staff during that whole time. We also saw firsthand how the same level of skill and compassion was provided to every baby and family in the NICU. On the day, Jeremiah, I don't know if you know this, but on the day you were discharged, there was a picture taken, and a year later, it was on the cover of a BI publication, and the title was Miracle in Progress. After we went home, Dr. Dwayne Pursley, the Director of Newborn Services, wrote us a letter thanking us for helping the NICU staff carry on its tradition of support, teaching, and communicating with our patients' families. Who does that? We were in awe. The lengthy and impactful history of the BI demonstrates the hospital's commitment to patient-centered care and health equity back to its founding in 1916. As was mentioned, during that period, there was a large influx of Yiddish-speaking immigrants arriving in Boston, and anti-Semitism was widespread. The BI, then in Roxbury, was the solution for scores of immigrants needing health care and Jewish doctors and nurses who wanted to practice medicine. It provided kosher food and Yiddish-speaking staff. From the beginning, it was open to people of all backgrounds. It was one of only 2 local hospitals that accepted patients on welfare during the height of the Depression. From the start, the hospital's approach to equitable patient care has been rooted in a commitment to social justice and innovation. The BI helped launch Boston's Community Health Center movement in 1965 and created one of the first Patients' Bill of Rights in the country in 1972. The standard of care provided in this building will be the same for every patient, no matter their creed, race, or financial status. This building represents the excellence, inclusiveness, and caring for which the BI is known. It also underscores the hospital's belief in the importance of a patient support system outside of the hospital. Recognizing the importance of loved ones being able to stay in the patient's private room is more than a reflection of what the current healthcare market demands. It's a recognition of the system needed to help patients get well or improve their chances of doing so. Certainly, the excellent medical team providing treatment is critical. While having world-class medical professionals here is a given, the BI has long recognized that the family and the patients themselves are an important part of the team, and this building honors everyone in this system of care. Good philanthropy always involves collaboration and partnership. It is never about one or a few donors. Seth and I are 2 of many donors who made this building possible, along with the leadership and staff of this great institution. We believe we represent everyone who participated in our shared belief in the excellence of education, training, and humane care that will continue in this state-of-the-art facility. One more thing. As you walk through the building, I hope you notice the art. As artist Karen Tabb was quoted as saying, "The art reflects the core soul of the hospital and the great diversity of our city." As was mentioned, the artists here are representative of diverse communities. The fact that they were selected from those many communities is a powerful statement that all are welcome here and all will be given the best of care. Seth and I are proud to have our name attached to a building that represents care and healing for all who enter. We thank everyone who shares this vision and helped make it possible.
Like Beth, I'm excited to be celebrating the opening of this new state-of-the-art facility. We feel enormously fortunate to be able to augment the best-in-the-world medical ecosystem that we all benefit from here in Boston. Each of us wants and deserves good health care for ourselves, but even more importantly, for our children and our families. But also, with so much inequality in our society, we recognize the importance of good health care for everyone, a belief BIDMC was founded on when Beth Israel Hospital and New England Deaconess Hospital came together some 27 years ago. At a time when the country sometimes feels like it's coming apart at the seams, healthcare tells the opposite story. It's one of people teaming up to take care of others, skilled professionals training and mentoring the next generation, delivering astonishing results across diverse communities of patients, in state-of-the-art facilities, guided by exceptional leadership whose role is to make sure all of that happens. The innovations these days in healthcare are extraordinary. Scientists and researchers make remarkable new discoveries every day, advancing the identification of the causes of and treatments for disease. There are continuous discoveries and process improvements. Hospitals and care providers are able to do things every day that have never been done before. The business of healthcare, on the other hand, is really tough. Because of the pandemic, the major hospitals in Boston have all been running significant deficits of late. They're also trying to manage through doctor, nurse, and technician shortages, which contribute to unprecedented wage inflation that compounds the problem. Adding to the financial stress, hi, Mayor. Adding to the financial stress are low margins, heavy fixed costs, heavy regulation, the inability to control your own pricing, and the responsibility of providing a huge amount of free and low-cost care, because BID's primary mission isn't to make money, it's to serve the community and to help people recover from illness, stay healthy, and live longer. As Beth mentioned, she and I have deep connections to BIDMC. In addition to caring for Beth's parents and having 2 of our children born here, I serve as a member of the Board of Managers, a group that oversees much of the endowment and pension fund assets of BIDMC. It's also been a privilege to have gotten to know and spend time with Kevin Tabb over the years. Kevin's strong and capable leadership gave me and Beth the confidence to commit to this project. We love you, Kevin. And for anybody here who's a board member in charge of contracts, just keep that in mind. For an institution like BIDMC, operating in a highly competitive market and running losses as necessary to navigate a pandemic, philanthropy has always been needed to make the numbers work. Philanthropy is not a given. It's a lot of hard work that requires presenting a compelling case and building, maintaining, and strengthening relationships with potential donors. Many of BIDMC's donors are here with us today, and Beth and I want to acknowledge and thank every one of you. Without all of your support, this building wouldn't have been built, and the hospital certainly wouldn't have been able to make it through these challenging times and emerge stronger than before. Beth and I thank all of you for being here today and for everything you do to support this vitally important institution. And I'm going to go slightly off script and just say, Kevin, Peter, BIDMC may need this building, but I prefer to think that you deserve this building. On behalf of all the donors, it's a privilege to support BIDMC in having the building it deserves so it can continue to fulfill its mission that's so important to our community here in Boston. Thank you, everybody.
And this new facility represents tremendous momentum and hope for the future. And I'm proud to see BIDMC continuing to grow in this way. One of the most meaningful things about being a physician, particularly at this hospital, is the relationships and the connections we form and maintain, not only with colleagues, but with patients, and in my case, with their families.
We have recognized our philanthropic supporters here today, and the staff and the leaders who have made and shaped the design of this building. I also want to emphasize that our public officials are critically important to our success in this rapidly changing healthcare environment. We could not do what we do without their partnership. The City of Boston, and particularly Tom O'Donnell and his colleagues in the Inspectional Services Department, were instrumental in our ability to continue construction throughout the pandemic and to deliver this project on time and on budget. I want to join Kevin in acknowledging Deb Goldberg, Treasurer of the Commonwealth. Deb, thank you for being here with us. I also want to thank State Representative China Tyler, a longstanding supporter of ours, who I usually just see around the campus, for joining us today. And it is now my honor to introduce Mayor Michelle Wu, a passionate advocate for exactly what we are here today to celebrate: increasing access to extraordinary care for all patients in our community. Mayor Wu.
Congratulations to everyone who is here. I'm so grateful for your leadership, and Peter and Dr. Tab and Chair DeSimone and everyone who has been part of this, to the Klarman family and Seth and Beth for your leadership in so many areas of our city, and the intentionality with which you think about how the pieces fit together for our New England and Boston economy, and the role of this moment and what's needed, how important it is to have spaces that not only create the mechanics of how we strengthen our brand and our economy and the very services that are life-saving for our residents, but that reflect the possibility and the hope and the interconnection between arts and culture, and how our community really thrives through these interstitial moments. I want to thank my colleagues who were referenced just earlier, my colleagues in government who create an incredible team across city, state, county, federal government. We are blessed to have the momentum all aligned with our new gubernatorial administration, with our partners at the State House, and all of our city and federal relationships that really are chasing down the funding from Washington to make big things happen, pulling together the community members who can really show what New England can do in this moment as a model for the rest of the country. I want to recognize some members of my team who are here as well. I will pass on the thanks and gratitude to the work of our inspectors at ISD and the many, many hands that go into making sure spaces are safe and matching the plans, and all while we're trying to move that as quickly as possible. We also have folks who represent many areas that will be impacted by the services and growth and jobs that you are strengthening and creating here. So thank you to the director of the Boston Public Health Commission, Dr. Basola Ojikutu, is in the house, alongside Dr. Basola. Thank you. Our Chief of Human Services, Jose Masso. Our Chief of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion, Shogun Iwu. Our Director of Tourism, Sports, and Entertainment, welcome to the team, John Borders. Our Director of Policy and Planning, Mike Firestone. So we are all thrilled and look forward to staying connected and ensuring that we can support the work happening here in as many ways as possible. We know that high quality care doesn't just happen, and that Boston and our New England region is blessed to have had the bones and the long time connections built up and intertwined over generations. But at this point, it is on our shoulders to ensure that we continue to protect what we have here, maintain, invest, and keep that at the leaderboard, the top of the leaderboards, as the economy is continuing to shift and as residents are continuing to find their foothold. Our hub, our status as a hub for world-class, life-saving innovations in healthcare and the life sciences and innovation will continue to define the direction of the health of this region for generations to come. And in this moment where we see in some ways, the pivoting to a new economy, one in which we must necessarily have to center the wholeness of our community and people at the center of it, I'm so proud that this space will not only provide the patient space and services that have been much needed for a very long time, and the stillness and the sanctuary of the Peace Garden and so many other details that have been built into it, but that for our healthcare workforce, which has been so stretched and pulled and experiencing so much burnout due to all of the heroic work that has happened over the last few years and many before that, this is an example of the kind of space that you deserve to work in, the incredible staff that works here. This is the standard that we want to see for you all across the country, and we're proud that Boston and this institution is leading the way on that. And so, I will just add a word. I'm so excited to tout the green and energy efficient aspects of this building and the contributions to our city's climate goals, which feed right back into jobs and health for our larger community. And so thank you to all of the dedicated providers, supporters, donors, business and family and neighborhood leaders who are here to ensure that this work continues. We will not rest until Boston is at the height of our possibility and potential, and including each and every one of our communities in the incredible opportunities before us. So thank you so much. I can't wait to cut the ribbon with all of you, and it's an honor to be here for this moment.
Thank you, Mayor Wu. We're grateful to you and Representative Tyler for being here with us today to celebrate this very important milestone for our institution. I'm shorter than most. I'm Tom DeSimone. I'm the chair of the board at BIDMC. And I want to echo all of the themes that you've heard here today: gratitude, community, innovation, and tremendous hope for the future. This institution means so much to me and my wife, Midge. We have been thrilled to be part of this project. It has been a very important part of our lives, as Doug said, for many years. I want to thank everybody in this community, whether you've supported the project financially, been part of the design and the construction process, or will be delivering the kind of care that the mayor alluded to in this building for which we are known. You are all part of an amazing family that makes this place truly, truly unique. This building took the inspiration of our entire community to bring us to this day. My hope is that now we have a building that will inspire this community for all the days to come. So in just a moment, we're going to be closing this portion of our celebration with our official ribbon cutting. Once that takes place, food is an important part of this institution. You're all invited to join us for lunch in the third floor cafe. I want to point out that there are some tremendous views from that space, and think about what it will be like in the spring and summer and fall. There'll also be guided tours leaving from the third floor, featuring experts in each aspect of this hospital that you've already heard so much about. I hope you'll take the time to do that. I would say to those of you that have already been on tours, it has changed every day. I went on a tour Tuesday, and it was different from the tour of a month ago. This is a truly special place, and you will see marvelous healthcare facilities and artwork that will inspire you. So at this time, I'd like to invite Seth and Beth Klarman, along with the mayor, Representative Tyler, and a few other folks from BIDMC to come up here so we can cut the ribbon and officially welcome this building into our family. Thanks very much.